Adam Schefter today had a little bit of a report about your team,
Yeah.
specifically with Cam Ward. A lot of draft speculation has been that Cam Ward, considered the best quarterback in this class by many. Um, he might go number one overall to the Titans. He might fall a little bit. It depends. Any one of those teams in the top three, Titans, your Browns, or the Giants, are going to be looking at quarterback, and they might go with a guy like Cam Ward. They might go with the Shedeur Sanders. But it's been heavily postulated that your Browns would be looking towards a guy like an Abdul Carter or maybe a Travis Hunter. If you end up moving on from a Myles Garrett, obviously the edge becomes a big priority for you. But Schefter reported today that apparently Cam Ward is like one on your guys's big board right now. That quarterback is a heavy want, and I'm just kind of curious about your thoughts about that because I think I've made my thoughts public. I don't know that quarterback is the way that you guys should go this year. Like, yes, you need to put someone on the field, and I wouldn't be against a quarterback with the amount of picks that you have. I wouldn't be against a quarterback in a later round, but with the number 2 overall pick, you have a chance of taking a Travis Hunter, of an Abdul Carter, a Mason Graham, even like some one of those guys that could be, a bookend for your team for years and years and years to come that could help replace a Myles Garrett. Whereas if you get a rookie quarterback, you could be thrusting him into just a kind of a bad situation, which usually is a recipe for disaster. That's always been my thought with it. But I'm interested to hear what you think. I know that Cam Ward, you're kind of a fan of his play style, right?
So I like Cam. Yeah. So he's got a live arm. He's very, very athletic. I like Shedeur more for the system that we're going to run. Right. If we're going to run Kevin's fancy system, I think Shedeur is the perfect fit. I like Cam. I think when we started watching college football this year, it's like, man, this Cam Ward kid is electric. And he is. His ceiling is higher than Shedeur's, but I think his floor is also lower. If he does not go one, which is entirely possible, I think Carter one overall is starting to catch a lot of steam. People are starting to use the word generational, which we'll talk about that word being tossed around a little bit later. So if he doesn't go and we have our pick, I think we have to go quarterback. You can't have both of them there, two different styles, and not pick one of them. Because at that point, what are you fucking waiting on? You can't have them both there because I think Shedeur will for sure be there. Cam Ward's the other one that looks like he's going to go potentially number one.
Shedeur's kind of taking a bit of a drop right now.
Yeah.
The word around town is that Shedeur is seen a lot more similarly to talent level of Jackson Dart now. That delta is not that far off. Uh, it'll be interesting to see if and how far he falls. I don't know that he'd make it past a 6 there with the Raiders, but Cam Ward, I absolutely expect will be gone in the first 3 picks.
Yeah. So if Cam Ward's available, take him. That's how Mach 1.0 went. I even said it. He's there. You got to take him because the ceiling is so high. Now, you hope that you can coach some of the bad things out of him. He is a dynamic playmaker. Sometimes you don't necessarily want that, especially in Kevin Stefanski's offense. You need somebody who is in rhythm, on time, on target. It's one of the things that got Deshaun in so much trouble was holding on the ball for too long, not playing within the rhythm and the system of the offense. Baker did it pretty well, but Baker would force things a lot of times. So you need somebody who is smart with the ball. Cam at times pushes the ball because he has a fucking cannon arm. He's massively live arm. I don't know if you've seen any of the stuff that he and Shedeur are putting out on Twitter, like their workout videos, because they're working out together. And Cam is just fucking giving it to Shedeur. He is Shedeur's a good sport, but man, Cam competes and he throws a good ball.
Yeah, look, of the 2 of them, Cam is absolutely the more toolsy quarterback. He's got the stuff that you want
It's
to
not
work
really
with.
a comp there.
To the point that, Shedeur Sanders has basically said he's not going to be participating in the workouts during the combine. He's going to go and interview with teams, more selective with the teams that he interviews with, because I think he really wants to gear himself towards those top 3 teams as much as he can. He wants to be one of those top picks. Whereas Cam Ward hasn't come out and said one way or the other whether or not he's going to be working out. I think he is leaning towards putting on display some of his talents out there at the combine, which we always like to see. You understand why players don't if they're injured and things like that, it makes a ton of sense. Some of those guys like Abdul Carter, who is also recovering from an injury,
Right.
I don't know that it benefits him at all to go out there and do any of the workouts, even if he's fully healthy, because he is going to be one of those top 3 picks, basically, uh, barring some sort of a hysterical media, news story that comes out that he's doing something very salacious outside of football or something like that.
Right.
And at that point, the combine isn't going to help you get out of that situation. So I
No,
get it for those
the
sorts of guys
combine
not
has
going.
shined light on people when those situations have shown up, and it's gone nothing but bad.
Yeah. But for Shedeur, like to not go out there and throw, I think it's probably like it's a little bit of an indictment.
You
Because
don't
some of the
think
stuff that
so?
we
I really
already
don't, man.
uh,
Nobody throws at this fucking thing anymore. These guys are going so they can interview. Almost nobody
yeah.
is going to compete anymore. And the only guys that are, they can either bench a fuckload or they're fast as shit. That's the guys that are competing. The quarterbacks and those dudes, they're running on air, they're throwing on air. Unless you just want to show that you can let it rip for 70, like they're not fucking out there competing anymore.
Well, hearing from one of the GMs today when kind of watching some of the scouting combine stuff, and the GMs like to see the guys go out there and actually compete.
For
Uh,
sure. But
they they
they don't
they
do it
made it.
anymore. Nobody
They
has.
said it's akin to you get pulled over and the cop says, "Hey, I want you to blow in this tube," and you say no. That it's your right not to do that, but it makes you seem kind of guilty. And for him to not go out there and compete, it makes him seem a little bit guilty having to go up against
Scam
other
throwing.
armed competition. As of right now, it sounds like he is, and that's kind of part of it. And look, everyone that is out there at the combine who's got a team logo on their shirt that is out there for an organization, they already know the strengths and weaknesses of these guys.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
outside of Shedeur going out there and having a blow up day like Teddy Bridgewater did, where he didn't wear the glove and then fixed it at later workouts where he did wear a glove. It's famous as pro day. He didn't throw combine. Pro day, he goes, doesn't wear gloves. Terrible, terrible day. And then he does some smaller workouts with the glove back on, looks fantastic. Outside of having a situation like that for Shedeur, he's still the second quarterback in this class. That's not changing. It's not going to really change his draft slot if a team wants to take him in the first round. So to me, like, I get it. It's not going to help him, but also it's not going to really hurt him that much to go out there and compete. There's a lot of ways that you can play that narrative around. I get both sides of it. I would like to go see the guys out there, left, right, and compare personally.
I would like
But
to see him throw for sure.